This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather. Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. Actually, no, it's not a birthday boy. It's a birthday girl. Thought I was going to do a birthday boy, huh? Well, I don't blame you for thinking that. But anyway, this is a birthday girl for today, February the 25th. She was once Canada's hope for a ladies tennis player who would be making things happen and winning a major and, you know, making Canadian women's tennis great again. I mean, she was the one that was supposed to lead the women's revolution that included Bianca Andreescu, who did win a major. But anyway, she was a great player for Canada and all that, but she has fallen flat. But I mean, her peak was 10 years ago. So anyway, she's 30 years old today. Her name is Genie Bouchard. Genie Bouchard was born in Montreal. She is a twin. I did not know that. When researching her, I didn't know that she was a twin. Anyway, she started playing tennis at age 5 and was a member of Team of Canada's National Training Centre in Montreal. She grew up in Westmount, a prominent area of Montreal, and lived on the same street as former Prime Minister Brian Mulroney. Her tennis skills were so good that at age 12, she moved to Florida to train with a big coach. She was a decent player and all of that. She had massive junior success by 2011. She went to the junior singles championship and lost to Monica Puig. However, she won at the Burnie International in Tasmania, beating a qualifier in the final. She would win a tournament in Croatia, missed the French Open juniors because of injury, and at Wimbledon she lost the quarterfinals. However, she did win the doubles junior event, so she won a junior doubles championship. So anyway, it was a decent event and all that. She went to the City Open in Maryland to face off against Alison Risk and beat her. She would end up facing number 2 Nadia Petrova in the second round, lost the match, but she would be ranked in the world number 302. In 2012, she shone at the women's junior singles at Wimbledon, taking down Elena Svitolina, who would be a good tennis player in her own right, making her the first Canadian ever, junior or pro, to win a single major. She would actually team up with Taylor Townsend of the US to win the junior doubles championship. She went to the Rogers Cup, which is the big Canadian Open, like the Canadian Open tennis event, and defeated Shinmar Peer of Israel in the first round. She would lose to Li Na, but still, she did well. She got to challenger events, which are the minor leagues of the WTA, and put up number 144 in the world. But in 2013, she had a massive breakthrough and all that. So she got to the quarterfinals of the Family Circle Cup, which meant that she could be in the top 100 for the first time. She went to the French Open and made her first main draw appearance as she defeated Pirankova in straight sets, but losing to Maria Sharapova. In her opening match at Wimbledon 2013, she beat a qualifier in 3 tough sets, and then she upset former number 1 Ana Ivanovic on center court in straight sets, but lost to Carlos Suarez Navarro in the third round. But still, I mean, to beat a former number 1 on center court at Wimbledon, that's huge. At the US Open, she lost the second round to Angelique Kerber. She made it to her second WTA semifinal at the Bell Challenge in Montreal in mid-September, but lost to Lucy Safarova. She actually went to the WTA final in Osaka, making her the first Canadian since Rebecca Marino in 2011 to do so, to make it to a singles final, but lost to Sam Stosur of Australia. She was named Newcomer of the Year for her breakthrough season and ended up being number 32 in the world. Anyway, in 2014, she got to the quarterfinals of the Australian Open, shocking Ana Ivanovic again, and got to the semifinals but lost to Li Na, who then went on to win the Australian Open if memory serves me right. It was a good time for Genie Bouchard. She got to the semifinals at Australia, and she helped Canada reach the top level in the Fed Cup tennis thing. Of course, the Fed Cup is the female equivalent to the Davis Cup for men, with nations going head to head, and Canada has won a Davis Cup, if you must know. Regardless of that, she put up a clinic and all that. And in the French Open, she got to the round of 16, beat Angelique Kerber, got to the quarterfinals against Carlos Suarez Navarro, and beat her to make her second straight semifinal. Sadly, though, Maria Sharapova would stop Bouchard and win the tournament herself. So then she got into Wimbledon, taking down Daniela Hanchikova, Silvia Espinoza, Andrea Petkovic, Elise Cornet, and Angelique Kerber to get to her third straight Grand Slam semifinal. And then Canadian tennis would have exploded. I mean, 3 straight semifinals, that's amazing. Making her the first WTA player in 5 years to do so. And she got to be guaranteed to be in the top 10. Then she defeated Simona Halep in straight sets to making it to a Grand Slam singles final, making her the first Canadian-born player to do so. Mary Pierce actually had won a major. She was born in Montreal, but Pierce represented France. So technically, we didn't get a championship. Unfortunately, Petra Kvitova sent Genie out in straight sets. So she tried her best and all of that. She was made the most improved player at WTA in 2014 and ranked number 7. Unfortunately, she would not have a good 2015 season, and unfortunately, the whole thing, 2015 season, would be marred by what happened at the U.S. Open. She took care of Alison Risk and Polonia Hercott to get to the third round. She beat Sibakova to reach the second week, and it looked pretty good. She was also advancing in doubles and mixed doubles. Bouchard would face Roberta Vinci in the fourth round, or what she was supposed to, but unfortunately Bouchard suffered a concussion, slipping and falling in the locker room. There was a lawsuit filed against the U.S. Tennis Association for the locker rooms cleanliness and all that. The parties would reach a settlement 3 years later. Unfortunately, Bouchard's concussion made she couldn't do doubles, she couldn't do mixed doubles, and she couldn't do the singles match to Roberta Vinci. The only problem was that Vinci would go on to shock Serena in the semifinals at the U.S. Open. Yes, that was the year 2015 that Serena was also close to pulling off the Grand Slam, winning all 4 tournaments, but at the U.S. Open she lost to Roberta Vinci. She would have missed things. By 2018, she was out of the top 100, and basically, a lot of people agreed that that concussion she suffered at the U.S. Open ruined her momentum. She did get to the French Open third round in 2020, which was good, and got to a few things. She's been injury prone since all that. However, there is a silver lining as she was named to the Billie Jean King Cup team. That is, well, they renamed the Fed Cup, the women's nations title. She played she won both doubles matches she participated in, and Canada ended up winning the Billie Jean Cup. So we are the defending Fed Cup / Billie Cup Jean King Cup champions. So she's got, yeah, her twin is a sister Beatrice, who's 6 months older. She has 2 younger siblings, Charlotte and William. She and her twin sisters were actually named after Prince Andrew's daughters. Of course, we don't talk about Prince Andrew, except in this case. Anyway, she was considering as a physician. She was a proficient student in math and science. She's fluent in English and French because, from Montreal. And yeah, so she may have had some slip-ups, and the U.S. Open was going to be 2015 her outcoming. But after that, she has struggled kind of in the sense she hasn't qualified for a major since 2020. But regardless of that, she was captivating, and she did capture Canadian tennis hearts at one time, and that's good enough for me. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond Adieu.